it's Kirby here, and I recorded this video on August 26th, 2023. So there is a lot of information that I probably didn't have as much clarity with information with I don't know. There's probably a lot of events that definitely add more context to this. So I don't really editing this video, so I have slapped on some subtitles. Thank you, Adobe Premiere Pro, and we're just gonna go ahead. This is raw. I hope you guys enjoy, and let me know what you think. Take care. All right. Hey y'all, it's Chrissy, Cribby if you're nasty. Today I'm going to go ahead and do my big ass election reading that I've been talking about. The reason why I'm doing election reading this big is because I think it's important to learn from history, especially because these motherfuckers in the White House have been trying to take our motherfucking history away with like CRT. Bitches hate the truth. It's not a secret that astrology is used in elections. That's why they call it an electional reading, because a lot of times you can predict it with the elections. So what I'm going to do is look at this, and it gives me a lot of indications. Okay, let me start all over again. And by the way, a lot of this is going to be edited in post. I'm mostly talking to my patrons, but a lot of this is going to be edited in post by the time that this gets out on like the clear web. So, I'm going to be looking at the 2024 election night. I'm also going to be looking at the inauguration of 2020 on January 20th, 2025 at 12 p.m. I keep messing up. I don't like that. It's also Mercury retrograde, which in my opinion is the perfect time. Okay, so we might have to look back on this and be like, oh, okay, I see what I already can kind of tell off the rip. I might have to go back on this a little bit and see what's going on. But I was going to look all the way up until 1980 for the charts, and maybe on the clear web one I might. But for right now, the only things that I can see that would be worthwhile are going to be the 1996 election, because those elements resemble what we're dealing with so closely. I'm also going to be looking at probably the inauguration period. I'm only picking 1996 because of our election cycle currently, and it definitely does resemble like hints of 1996 elements. It's a little bit different because by the time that election season came around, Saturn, which typically rules like politics and things of that nature, actually ended up being in the 10th. It's gonna happen again in 2023, just 2024, just being aware. Saturn already moved. Saturn's technically retrograde, but it's in Aries and not Pisces. So I think that the talking head pundits aren't meant to lie as much as they have. A few things again before we begin. I'm an external processor. Hell, it's what makes me so good at reading. I don't give a fuck. Another thing, I might sound like I have like marbles in my mouth. I don't know. I just have a long, slippery, savory tongue. I can't. Like, don't be mad at me. Be mad at God for giving me my greatness. Okay. And lastly, this is going to be allegedly for entertainment purposes only. I do not promise anything, and you should be just taking this with the grainest of salt, if you will. But in anything that happens based on this reading is purely a coincidence. So anyway, I don't know if I should start with... Yeah, let's go ahead and start with 1996, considering we need to see what we're working with. And this looks very, very... I'm just going to be off the rip. Very, very serious, down to the day. November 5th. Looks exactly like the 2024 chart. But it's a little different, okay? So, judging off the rip, I already kind of felt like the first house was going to represent the incumbent, and the 7th house is going to represent the opponent, because we have two opponents. Actually, we had three this time, but nobody was checking for Ross Perot. Nobody. Well, okay, a significant amount, but not enough to obviously make any moves here. So we have a Cancer ascendant. The ruler of the ascendant is in the fourth house in Virgo. Libra is also, or Venus is in Libra here, which is domicile in the fourth house. When we think of the fourth house, what's in the fourth house? What do we think of the fourth house? The United States, right? And so I'm trying to learn from here how we want to go about the 2024 chart. But if that's what it's saying, then this is definitely the incumbent. The incumbent is back at the house, aka the person who's already president. And who is this? The ruler of the 7th is in the 10th. So it's in Aries, so it's in fall and retrograde. So obviously the incumbent's going to be the winner if we're looking at dignities. Because the Virgo, even though it's a Virgo moon ruled by a Scorpio Mercury, and Scorpio is fall moon, it's still better than our Saturn in Aries retrograde that's fallen, and retrograded because of, like I said, the dignity. So obviously in that case, Bill Clinton did win the election. And I can almost tell, I think, I don't know if I already said this, I was probably talking about it before I recorded, but it's definitely going to be that Libra that helped, because if you look at his policies in 1996 over, I mean, they were already kind of like that before then, but once he hired Dick Morris as the advisor, they really went right, like more center. So it did rely a lot. It relied a lot on having to balance that. Like he could, like, cause he I think he saw if he was gonna be more right, or if he was gonna be as left as he was, because he was already offering some pretty radical left strategies. On top of the fact, well, radical for 90s. On top of the fact that he was elected despite having admitted infidelity, which back in the 90s, that would crush a candidate. In fact, it did crush a candidate. In fact, the year that Bill Clinton was supposed to run, like way before, his partner Gary, they demolished him. They demolished Gary because they found out that he was having infidelity, and they just weren't fucking with it. But that's a lot of, I'm gonna have to do so much juxtaposition, oh my god. But I really want y'all to contextualize what's going on here. Yeah. So with this Scorpio Sun conjunct Mercury, I already knew off the rip. Also, there is a mutual reception between Mars and Virgo and Mercury and Scorpio. And if you look at any of the rhetoric that happened in the 90s, it was very much us versus them. And this is what I'm talking about with that Saturn and Pisces psychic warfare type shit, right? Instead of just simply focusing on what they're saying, focus on what they're saying and why they're saying it and what they're trying to make you do by saying it. If you can kind of extend, like, your ability to kind of see that, you'll be able to understand what's going on here. And I saw all of that during Newt Gingrich's run, and, like, I don't know if he's a representative or said it. What's funny is he tried to get Bill Clinton out the paint, but he was also cheating with Callista Gingrich, and they're still together to this day, which is crazy because he's probably cheating on her too. You get him how you lose him. But yeah, I don't really have anything much more to say. We already kind of knew what happened here. Bill Clinton won. So if we're gonna judge it by this is the incumbent. And this is the, obviously, the opponent. So now, I'm going to pause real quick, and we're going to look at the 2024 presidential election. So here we are, at the 2024 election. And so, as you can see, even the risings, even down to the degree, almost, a few minutes off, but down to the degree. And so it's like that on purpose. If I feel like they do that shit on purpose because they don't want nobody to be able to tell. If a degree is between 1 and 3 degrees, you're not supposed to read it. But this is about to be 4 degrees, and you could tell because it says 347. So I'm about to read this shit. Y'all gonna get mad. Don't care. As we can see, we got to also like take a look, and it's just a lot going on in this motherfucker right here. The ruler of our first house is in the 7th house. Let me say that again. The ruler of our first house, the incumbent, is in the 7th house, detriment, in Capricorn. The ruler of our 7th house is in the 10th house, retrograde, in Pisces. Since it is technically peregrine, even though it is retrograded, it's functioning a lot better than that moon in Capricorn that is detrimented. Considering that the moon in Capricorn is also answering to that Saturn in Pisces, Joe Biden will lose the 2024 election. But I saw that coming. Anyway, well, I saw that coming. Come on now. And now you're gonna want me to elaborate on that. For one, like I said, anybody with eyes saw it coming, but we also really have to like take a look at this and see why it is that he lost. Ruler of the 4th house. I like looking at the 4th house because to me that represents the United States, the people, and honestly like the people that are in charge of voting typically. With the ruler of the 4th house is in the 6th in Sag. The ruler of the 6th is in the 12th. And it looks like they're in mutual reception. Because we got a Jupiter in Gemini retrograde and a Mercury in Sagittarius. So it's as if we have a Mercury in Gemini and a Jupiter in Sagittarius right now, okay? That's how that mutual reception works. Well, actually, no, because it is forming one. It's just very, very, it's like unbelievably loose right now, considering the fact that it's at 20 degrees Jupiter, Gemini, and 4 degrees Mercury, Sagittarius. But it's in retrograde, right? Which, this is the type of shit that I'm talking about. There absolutely is shit behind the scenes. Ruler of the 12th house is in the 6th house. It's something about the day-to-day. It's the day-to-day narratives that affect this, that have affected this. Because if we remember in the 1996 one, I kind of drew the conclusion that it was because Bill was going so conservatively. But here, it's giving skull measurement competition. And I'm not for that. I'm so fucking serious. It's giving skull measurement competition. Like, before, it was like, okay, let me appease and create a level of harmony. But here, if we think of Sagittarius is a little bit out there, who else is a little bit Sagittarius and out there? With his mutual moon and Mercury in mutual reception, Donald John Trump. Okay? So, that's where we're at. A lot of people are not gonna like that. But that's what I read. I don't know what else to tell you. It's kind of already been sealed. It's not too early to tell. Because look at it's about, if it were like 3 degrees at 1 minute, I wouldn't read it. But it's been 47 minutes of this shit. 47 minutes. So, it's about to be 4 degrees, which means I can read it. And they can say mad, sad, glad, rad, or bad. I don't give a damn. Saturn in the 10th. Again. Retrograde again. We also got Neptune in the 10th. And the North Node in the 10th. Last time, the North Node was in the 4th. So it's kind of leading me to believe that with the fourth, I mean, yeah, Bill was going towards everybody. Bill wanted to get all sides of the equation. He already knew that he had the Democrats. At this point, it was converting the Republicans that were already Republicans into being Democrats, which he obviously was able to do successfully. Without a shadow of a doubt, it is the exact opposite right here. Donald Trump has been trying to get Democrats and turn them into Republicans, been trying to get leftists into Republicans, been doing this shit. And these so-called pseudo-intellectual leftists will be like, oh my God, he's speaking for us. Again, we're not looking at that Saturn in Pisces, which is asking us to look at what is being said, but who's saying it, why they're saying it, and what they want me to say back. Which is, and then also, so we got that Jupiter in that Saturn in Pisces, ruled by that Jupiter in Gemini. So again, it really absolutely is about what they're saying and why they're saying it in the 12th. Like, I cannot stress enough, there is going to be a lot of underhanded politics. They saw the Donald Trump formula, and now we got a bunch of POCs and blacks and all types of shit acting a fool. Skull measurement contest. I already knew off the rip that I was not going to participate in this election cycle, but this kind of seals the motherfucking deal. Pluto in the 8th. So we're absolutely going to get a peaceful transfer of power here. There will be no January 6th re-up. Can't be. Is there anything else? I mean, I could look at how Mars in the 2nd in Leo and the Sun in the 5th in Scorpio are in a mutual reception. But I feel like it's already said itself by just me talking about the rhetoric. This is going to be a pain in the ass election. Like, I don't know how else to say that. I mean, I guess I could look at, like, there's a Mars, I could look at the Mars-Pluto opposition, almost exact. If not, I think it's actually separating because it was at 29, now it's at 0. I think it's separating. So that's really interesting. And then we could also look at, what else? Is the moon opposed to anything? No, the moon is fucking sextiling. No, wait. No, it's not. What's the moon sextiling? Neptune. In the 10th. It might be an upset. I'm going to have to look at the 2016 election to make sure. Alright, so we're at the 2016 election. And once you look at that, we got okay, I also chose 8 p.m. because at this point, I think that's when most polls close within the United States, is usually by 8 p.m. their time, with few exceptions. So I'm going to go with the majority. So I'm assuming that the ruler of the Saturn and Sagittarius, that's that ruler. The moon in Pisces, that's that ruler. So now we have to look at the conditions of their ruler. Saturn in Sagittarius being ruled by that Jupiter in Libra. Moon in Pisces being ruled by that Jupiter in Libra. Oh, well, and then the Neptune in Pisces. Okay, so yeah, it is giving upset because as we can see, the Neptune is on the 10th again, and it was an upset. So it's going to be upset this time too. Like, I don't know what else to say. It's going to be an upset. Y'all going to be mad. I'm not. I already knew what it was. January 21st, 2021. I already knew what it was. I'm sorry. I knew. Day one in Biden's America. No, I'm playing. And typically Venus kind of tells us, like, why they won. And again, he won because he was out fucking going. Okay? He won because he was outgoing. Venus, to me, is telling me how that specific one won. He won because he was saying shit. That's the exact, I can't stress this enough. This is the exact conditions that are going to happen in 2024. Okay, I don't even give a damn about them. Even though the sun is being ruled by actually that is actually pretty interesting. Mars in Capricorn exalted 29 degrees, ruling that. Oh yeah, I need change. Oh, it was a mess, honey. It was a mess. I kind of want to look at 2020 now. The 2020 election. But yeah. And you know what's crazy? Hillary Clinton was finna have her solar lunar arc around this time because this would have been her solar and lunar return. She lost a couple weeks after her birthday. Ain't that some shit? That pissed me off forever. And trust me, it did piss her off forever. Alright, and then the ruler of the fourth. Okay, again, typically, that's a typical. Ruler of the fourth, again, seems to be conjunct the sun. And the ruler of that, the sun and Mercury, is going to be 29 degrees, Mars in Capricorn. Pluto in Capricorn has told me that the power is going to go towards the businesses. And I think Pluto could possibly represent funding. Could. It could. But yeah. Let me see some more. I'm going to look at the 2021 real quick, and then we'll look at the inauguration day. Alright, so here's the 2020 inauguration. It was a little bit too early to call. It was too early to call it. I don't know if the information that we have here is going to be accurate. But I'm going to still pull it. Ruler of the first house is going to be in the 12th house conjunct North Node. And the ruler of the 7th house is in the 7th house conjunct Pluto and Jupiter. Well, I think, first house is the incumbent, right? Okay, well then that explains it. Okay, first house is going to be the incumbent, obviously. And so, in the Battle of Dignities, the moon is Peregrine, and it does have, like, that North Node influence, but it doesn't, it's just on a node. So with the moon in the 12th compared to Saturn in Capricorn, conjunct Jupiter and Pluto, which is why we was going through hell. The opponent won. But I'm just gonna let y'all know something. Y'all ever notice how this was definitely a status quo pick, and like because of what we saw with the DNC, just because of what we saw, so. The higher ups they're obviously absolutely interested in this, but like this was definitely an establishment pick. I don't think that it was a cheat. I know one thing, they saw Hillary Clinton failed to cheat in 2016, which she definitely could have and won. And so they were pulling out all the stops to get this nigga out. And the reason why Joe Biden won, if we're going by the Venus theme, is again, he is motherfucking like it's that centrism shit, because he has to pull people from the right, but it's not gonna work this time. What's gonna happen in the 2024 election is that you're gonna have to kind of say the wildest shit possible in order to win. That's what it looks like. This is just me judging, you feel me? Neptune in the 10th, was this a shocker? I won't even say that, but what I will say is that it was close and people were worried. We didn't know who was going to win in 2020. Like, all the other ones, for as long as I've lived, presidential elections have always seemed super obvious to me. Including, but not limited to, 2016. But 2020, I truly didn't know. So there's that. And so now I'm going to go to the inauguration to kind of see what the term's going to be like. But so just based on what I've learned, this is going to be the incumbent and this is going to be the opponent. Typically, it's incumbent versus opponent. I do see a couple Democrats winning. But yeah, this is going to be the incumbent, and the incumbent lost here. And this is going to be the opponent, and the opponent won. Okay. To be honest, I thought that this was going to be a lot more extended. But, I mean, it's also kind of, it's like that with sports. Like, I thought that I was going to do it a lot, but nope, it's actually, like literally just right there. I just need to look. So this is going to be the presidential inauguration, which is going to tell us, like, kind of what we're looking for. We got the Taurus rising. That always happens. Every single presidential inauguration will start at noon on January 20th, and it's always going to have a Taurus rising no matter what. Okay? Because obviously they want the Republic to look good. I just think it's funny and a little bit weird because, wait, what? This is the 21st. I'm looking for the 20th, nigga. Wait. Nigga, I wanted the 20th, damn it. There we go. And then it only, like, moved by, like, a day. I just think it's funny because I was wondering, because I was like, why does Aquarius have a 1 instead of a 0? Okay. The sun's always going to be in the 10th house. Taurus will always be rising. I just think it's funny that they use a detriment sun to rock for it at the highest point. That doesn't look good, but when it has America, I've done something smart. That looked good. Never. Look at this Pluto conjunct sun. Baby, they said no January 6th here, honey. Y'all ain't doing that. Mars in the 3rd. Okay. That's worrying. I guess I have trouble interpreting these. It was a little bit better with the election charts because I had a lot to look from, and then I looked at the presidential inauguration for Reagan, and hold on, I'm probably gonna have to look at that again. I don't really want to. I'm just gonna make some guesses here. What's gonna happen during this term? Whoever it is, again. Look at the Jupiter in the 11th, look at the motherfucking Saturn in the 11th. Whoever this is going to rely heavily on networking, us versus them type shit, always us. And that's why you have to be aware of what the hell it is that, wait, Venus is going to be conjunct my sun. Okay, that doesn't, okay, I'm sorry. I'm stupid. Again, you have to focus on what is this person saying, what are they trying to say, what are they trying to make me do, and how are they trying to make me feel. You have to think about that during Saturn and Pisces. You have to. People thought that I was bullshitting, and then people thought I was bullshitting when I said that Saturn and Pisces is going to be psychic warfare down. You have to worry about not only what they're saying, but why they're saying it. And now look, we got these white, yeah, because they're white wing grifters who are trying to piss black people off by saying the most inflammatory shit for $38.72 in their Stripe account. That is Saturn and Pisces. And it works just like that, but you got to think about that across the board, especially when it comes to political structures, political pundits, and anybody that decides that they want to make some money off of this. Now, full transparency, because I'm a Pisces, right? And this is all going to be conjunct my sun. I hope I don't go through it by then. I probably am not. I'm going to say it right now. I'm going to be great. I'm going to be great, my lavender. I'm doing this because I want to see what happens, and I think it's funny to me. And also, I wanted to help me. I loved being an astrologer. If I'm wrong, hey. If I'm right, hey. But I personally think that Biden's going to lose. Biden's losing in 24. Okay? Y'all saw it. Y'all saw all those charts, right? Where the incumbent was the first house, and then they won. Or whoever was won, and whoever was lost. Yeah. I guess I could use like this as like the incumbent party versus the opposing party. But anyway, as far as like an inauguration is concerned, I definitely think it's gonna rely more about like pure total delusion here. Like people are not fucking serious about their politics, and that's just it's irritating. It's irritating. We got Mars in the third house of Cancer. That's always good. That's definitely not indicative of like fucking interstate violence or intrastate violence. It's not that at all. That doesn't scare the fuck out of me or anything. But whoever this is gonna be a motherfucking warhead. That's just what I see. That's just what I see and how I see it. Whoever this is going to be a fucking warmonger. And that's why you gotta check his ass quick. I don't give a damn about that opposition. That meaningless. Whoever this is. Mars in Cancer is way stronger than Mercury in Capricorn. It just is. Whoever this is going to be a fucking warmonger. So be absolutely careful. And yes, they are doing like wait a minute. The ruler of the where Aries is at? Aries rules. The ruler of the 12th is in the 12th and the 1st. Mars in the 3rd is ruled by that oh hell no. So this is gonna be some day-to-day shit. And then they're gonna sit up here and make it sound like you're stupid because you're not going for it. Because you don't want to get along just to get along. I ain't stunning you. I'm sick of this shit already. I'm already exasperated as hell. I don't really have that much to say. I'm going to be honest with you. I don't personally see anything worth. I really hope that we look at the why of whatever the hell it is going on. I hope we get up and do something. Look at this. Pluto in Aquarius is power to the people. Listen to me, damn it. We can do what they do too. Pluto in Aquarius answering to that Saturn in Pisces. The way to defeat the bullshit is by calling it for what it is. Okay? That's the Pisces' biggest weapon, is the truth. As a Pisces, I know this. That's why I speak it regularly. Point out what it is this person is trying to make you think versus what they're saying. The reason why is because it will they haven't thought that. A lot of these people have not thought that far ahead. They just know what they want you to do and how they're going to say it. They didn't know that you're going to pick up on the shenaniganry. They don't have anything for that. So I don't really have that much. I don't have that much else to say. With the ruler of Mercury and Capricorn being in Saturn and Pisces, this nigga's lying. Politicians do that, but this is going to be especially so. And just be careful. Be careful. Don't fall for the okie doke and stay away from those tape measurements.